Hey, Tipsy Babes, I'm Amber,
And I'm Chloe. You're listening to the Two Tipsy Babes podcast.
where we're sipping our way through life, travel, working in healthcare, and our favorite books.
So, Amber, what is your choice of drink for today's episode?
My choice today is a pink lemonade truly that is spiked. So I added a shot of pink lemonade
Ooh,
vodka as well. Yeah, got to
nice.
actually
I
get
like it.
tipsy. So,
I like it.
what is your drink of choice, Chloe?
So, originally I was going to do Chardonnay, but champagne makes me angry, and I thought I'd save that for our conversations about toxic exes.
Oh, there you go.
So,
There you
today
go.
I'm
Yeah.
doing twisted tea.
Hey, very nice. Very nice. That's a good one.
You
That's a
know?
good one. Cheers.
Cheers. Get it started.
Right
Oh, wait, we should
on.
cheers
Right
our
on.
mic. Some
Oh
ASMR
yeah.
if they like. You
Cheers.
guys
Oh
like
yeah.
that? Here, listen to my gulp.
Oh yeah. Wait. Let's see. Let's see if mine is as good because that was pretty solid, honestly. Ready?
You gotta go.
Did you hear it?
You gotta like send it
I
back more.
did. Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
got get a lot and
Wait.
just send it back.
Oh, okay. I feel like this could. What kind of podcast are we doing?
Oh, that was a really good one.
Thank you. Thank
There
you.
you go. There you
I just
go.
needed a little bit of practice.
Don't we
All
all?
right. Oh God.
Getting a
Welcome.
little. Welcome to our spicy.
Dear Lord.
So with this episode, you guys are gonna kind of get to know us both, and we're gonna take this like we're having a conversation with you guys.
So essentially, kind of what our vibe is for this podcast and as a whole, and it'll probably evolve over time. But it's just to chat, have conversations. Both of us work in healthcare. You are a traveling surgical tech, which is so interesting and so awesome. And I think a lot of people are super curious about that. And that so there'll probably be lots of questions about that, and I have lots of questions about it because I hope to travel one day. And then I work as
Mhm.
an LPN in home health care. So we're going to be talking kind of about that and kind of our experiences there, and then talking also about our favorite books because both of us love to read, and especially like some smut, some spice.
We
So we're
love
gonna
the
be
spice. This
yes,
year
some
is
more
all about
spice.
spice.
Absolutely. The vibes and the spice, right?
Hmm.
So that should be fun. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of get together and chat, and this gives us a really good excuse to get to know each other better, which we know each other pretty well. But actually, speaking of, do you kind of want to talk about how we met originally?
Yes, I think that's a great starter. And how about we talk about like first impressions? Because I am dying to hear what your first impression is.
Okay, yeah, let's
Because
do
I,
that.
I have mine in the back of my head,
Oh gosh,
for
I'm
sure.
scared actually because our first time meeting was a little funny. And we'll get into that. But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So we kind of need to hear like both sides of how, you perceived it and how I perceived it.
Yes.
So I remember I was coming all the way from Guam to San Antonio. We were both reclassing to a medical profession within our
In the
medical
military.
profession. In the military,
Yeah,
yes.
in the
In the
military.
military, we were both reclassing to different MOSs, and I was so tired. They actually brought me to the wrong barracks, and I was already in processing where like the 88 mites and the whiskeys go and stay, and they were just like, wait, what are you reclassing to? I was like, 68 Delta. They're like, you're in the wrong company. And mind you, this is like after 24 hours of traveling, and I'm like, I just want to lay down, like this sucks. So they ended up taking me to the right company, and then I had to in process with them, and eventually I made it to the prior service barracks, and that's where I met you.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
okay, so I don't think I knew some of that. I think I probably did at one point and it probably just left my mind. So did they
Yeah.
send you to the barracks like that the IET stay at?
Yeah, they sent me to the AIT
You were in
barracks and I started
civilian
in process.
clothes.
I know.
What
I
the
know.
heck? Oh, wow.
And
That's
it
wild.
wasn't, and I was already like halfway through the paperwork, and then they realized my MOS that I was reclassing to, and they were like, wait, you're not supposed to be here.
Right.
Which is like mind-boggling because you would think they would have like a list, like a roster of
Hmm.
everyone that's in process or should be in processing for the next
Right.
classes. But that's Army for you.
Yeah. No, that's actually funny because when I showed up, the only way that they knew that I was coming was because my name was written on the board in Expo marker. Like that was it. So it was just so funny because they had no record of me. The information that they gave me was wild, but yeah, that's
Like
always so
no
much fun.
official, like no
Yeah,
official documents.
exactly. Yeah, nothing else. You just show up.
Yeah, that was weird.
But
Anyways,
yeah.
so I went in and if I remember, we went to the office in the bottom floor and they
Yep.
assigned us, right? They
Yep.
assigned us roommates. So, they're like, all right, we're gonna take you up to your room and show you where you're
Mhm.
gonna be staying. And I remember knocking on that door and I think it was the sergeant. She was like, this is gonna be your new roommate. And you just kind of open it and you're like, oh, okay, hi. And I'm like, hi, I'm Chloe. Nice to meet you. And in the
Yeah.
back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, she's so cute. I'm gonna be friends with her. I was like, I'm gonna be friends with her. I'm gonna walk out of this place with a whole new friend. I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, she's gonna be my friend. And not
That's so cute.
and it's not because like I'm very friendly, like it's very easy for me to talk to people, but I don't look at someone and say, "Oh, we're gonna be friends." Like that's not something that I vibe with. But with
Yeah.
you, I had an instinct. I was like, "She's gonna be my friend. She's gonna be my friend."
That is so
So, yeah,
cute.
that was my first
I love
impression.
that.
And I thought you were
That's
just
so
so
sweet.
nice, like taking me to get, settled in and get my stuff. And you were just so nice. And I was like, I'm gonna get to know this girl. She's
That
so
is,
quiet and I could tell you were kind of an introvert. And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna get her out of her shell.
Oh, yeah. Every introvert needs to be adopted by an extrovert. So
No,
that's
I
so
agree.
sweet. Yeah, that was so sweet. Okay, so my first impression was a little bit different, and it wasn't bad at all. I was okay, so I had just had every time you gulp, I can hear
We need to this is proof that we're drinking during the podcast.
Exactly, exactly. Where this is we live up to our title.
Maybe I'll move the mic away when I gulp.
No, 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 it's okay. I mean I don't mind it. I just think it's funny. But yeah, so here, let me take a sip. When
There you go.
there you go. So when you first knocked on the door, first of all, I had a roommate prior to you for
Mhm.
a short period of time. And she was a great roommate. No, she was a good roommate. You were a great roommate. So she was good. We just didn't interact at all.
Mhm.
Until right at the very end, we started talking a little bit, but she got kicked out of the program and she had to go home. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time getting to know her, and she very much liked her own space, didn't like talking. So, since we had to share a space and had to be in such close proximity to each other, my original thought was, okay, like as a roommate, I just need to be quiet and leave her alone. Like that was my initial thought. And when they knocked on the door, I had no prior notice, so I was just chilling on a Saturday, I think it was,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just chilling on a Saturday, doing some homework, and then I think catching up with family and all of that. So I was just chilling on my bed, and then I hear a knock on the door. And anytime somebody knocks in the military, they like to do like that big old bong, bong,
Bang,
bong.
bang,
It's,
bang. Yep.
yeah. So, first of all, it was alarming. And then I open the door, and you're just standing there with all these bags, this tiny little, cute little girl. I'm like, girl, you're a woman, but like this tiny, cute woman. And then you've got these massive bags that I swear are bigger than you. So I was like taken aback. But I will say the very first thing that popped into my head was she's wearing a Friends shirt. That was the first thing. You were wearing a Friends shirt, and I was like, we can talk about this. We can talk. Because I think I was doing a Friends marathon. I'm pretty sure I was doing a Friends marathon at the time. So that was really
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, you walked in and you were immediately so friendly and so sweet and so kind. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like she's so sweet, but she probably wants her space and wants me to leave her alone. So I remember trying to do that the whole time, like, leave her alone, don't overwhelm her. She's trying to get settled in and calm down. And then you said you were from Guam, and I had all these questions. I had so many things that I wanted to get to know. And then you said, yeah, and I need to go. I was like, do you have a car? You said no. I said, do you need me to take you to get anything? Oh, and this is something that I regret to this day. I think about this all the time. I don't know why, but I should have gone in and shopped with you.
You
Like,
did
you
stay in
remember
her
that?
car.
I did,
Yeah.
because I didn't know if you wanted to be left alone or like what to do. And I'm so awkward sometimes, especially back then. I feel like I've grown out of it a lot, but I was so
Yeah.
awkward. So I remember pulling up, parking, and then, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I'll wait here for you. And then you were like, oh, okay. And you go in and you start doing your shopping. And then I don't know, you were quick. It was like 25, 30 minutes later, you came back with everything you needed and
Mhm.
dinner. You had bought dinner or something. Um, but yeah, so my first impression was you were wearing a Friends shirt. So I knew we were going to be able to talk at least about something, and that you were so sweet and smiley. It was adorable. Yeah. So, but I was also scared
Aw.
of you. I was also scared, like, because we were going to be living in,
Why?
because we were going to be living in the same space. And sometimes if you're not compatible, especially sometimes like from an introvert's perspective, when they're
Mhm.
with an extrovert, if it's an extrovert that they don't get along with, it can be so frightening.
Intimidating.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
because
see
you're,
that.
yeah, but yeah, because I know there are some extroverts out there. Like if it was a different situation, we might not have clashed so well if we weren't who we are. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was a little bit intimidated to share such a small space with somebody. But it ended up going so well, and I loved it so much. So
And walked out of it, and look at this.
yeah,
Almost 3 years later, and we're
I
still,
know.
you
We're
know,
still talking.
we're still
Yeah, it's
talking, so that's a
great.
good
Yeah.
sign. I think
Yeah.
it's mainly because I won't let you go. I
I think it's a
I was like, whether she likes it or not, she's going to be my friend.
yeah, this is not optional. Yeah.
This is
No, I
not
think
negotiable.
yeah. No, I think that that's probably true too, because again, as an introvert, it is so easy to crawl into my own little shell and just
And lose
forget.
touch too.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that today. Like if they're like I am so comfortable on my own. If there were not people out there that were extroverted and my friends like you and some of my other friends, they call me. You call me most of the time. I rarely
Yeah.
pick up the phone and I'm like, "Hey Chloe, let me tell you about my day." Like it is usually you, and I as an introvert find it so refreshing, and like it's one of my favorite things. So that's definitely how our friendship has stayed alive, because you're just such a wonderful person.
Hey,
So, yeah.
you got to give yourself credit too because you have sent messages where you're like, I just want to let you know that I'm still thinking about you and I still
I
care about you. So, those messages actually I hold dear to my heart because
Aw.
there are people where it's if I reach out to you and reach out, they don't reach back. Like
Yeah.
I've learned to some of my closest friends that I thought were close,
Mhm.
I would message them, say happy birthday, and on my birthday I didn't get anything back. Or I I'd have to be the one to reach out and they
Yeah.
wouldn't reach out to me. So that's where I'm kind of learning like, okay, not there's phases in your life that people belong and they have to
Mhm.
stay in that phase and they're not
Mhm.
meant to be part of the whole book.
Right.
Maybe just a
Absolutely.
chapter and you have to be okay with that. But
Yeah.
in your case, you're going to be here till the very end.
Yeah, there's going to be at least a paragraph in every chapter. I love
Exactly.
it.
So,
Yeah, maybe a page or a
page
paragraph
and
in
a
every chapter.
half, page and a
Yeah.
half. We'll go
Yeah.
with that.
We had a whole chapter though in November when we went to when London and Scotland, so
Yes, that was
a
a lot of
whole chapter
fun.
on its own. That was so much fun. But
But that's going to be saved for later when we talk
oh,
about
for sure.
our little bits and tricks for traveling.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
let's move on.
Okay.
Okay, what are your plans for 2024?
Ooh, that is a great question. So I guess in the, with the whole new year thing, you do think about that a lot more. You kind of reflect and think, okay, well, where do I want to see myself in this new coming year? Even though it's
Hmm.
just another day, because I hear that a lot too. It's just another day. It's just another day. Yeah, but it is a great time because we get so wrapped up in life. It is a great time to pause and reflect and think, okay, where am I going? Time to reevaluate or evaluate in general, so that you can make productive progress in your life. So I was kind of thinking about that a lot this past month. And so for this year, for sure, definitely a lot of schooling for me. I jumped back into school at the beginning of the year, and that's going great, although I forgot that I don't like school. And
It was a
so
friendly reminder.
yeah, yeah, I was so excited and so hyped. I think it's because it's just a new thing, you know? And
Yeah.
then I got started with it and I'm like, oh, that's why I don't like doing this. I like learning. I just like doing it without being told that I have a deadline.
Yeah. Or you have
So,
assignments or quizzes and labs due, right?
yes, exactly. So, definitely for me, going back to school is definitely a big one and getting some schooling done, hopefully getting through everything so that I can get my RN because currently I have my LPN. And
Hmm.
yeah, just progressing my career so that I can do different things that I want to do in my life. But that's a big one. Also, I know everyone jumps on the fitness bandwagon, when they first at the beginning of the year. I have been training since I don't know, shoot, how long has it been? Since
It
at
was,
least November, I think.
yeah, before we went
Yeah.
on our trip.
I think that was the beginning of it. So I'm training for a strong man, strong woman competition,
So how
which
do you
is
feel
kind of
about
fun.
that?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited and I'm so motivated. It gives me purpose in the gym because
Hmm.
I found it really difficult to go to the gym just to work out. Even though those are great things and I think now I've developed that in my life. It's such a routine and such a like a standard in my life that
It's a
I going to the
staple.
yeah, it's not something that I would be like, oh, let's see if I can make it to the gym today. It's a thing that I can't live without it now, which has happened in such a short period of time. November to now is not that long, but because I've been so consistent with it, it's become such a staple. But I there's so much progress that I need to make before this competition in April. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun and I feel not just confident, but I feel very I don't know, I feel good about myself. I feel strong, I feel powerful, which I think
Hmm.
is as a woman is such a great kind of liberating feeling to feel powerful and to walk into the gym because for me I had such crippling gym anxiety, walking into the gym and being like this is my space. I'm doing this, and not caring
Right.
what everyone else is thinking. There's only very few times where I get anxious about doing something and looking
When there's a
stupid.
lot of people too, when there's a lot of
Yes,
people around. Yeah. That
which right now because of the New Year's, there's lots of people around.
high
But
volume.
it is very high volume. But everyone's, chasing their goals, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I would say those are probably some of the two main things. I work right now as a night shift LPN in home
Hmm.
health and kind of switching that to day shift. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm, huh?
Working night shift is definitely something that not a lot of people are able to do. How do you find that, balancing between the gym and school? How do you find balancing working night shift?
Oh my gosh, it has been a nightmare, honestly. I mean, I get it done. I get it done. Like I have a routine that works when I'm working night shift. I've been working night shift now for a year in this current job. Overall, my whole life, I think I've been doing it for 2.5 years. But currently, I've been doing this one for a year, and I've just recently gotten into a routine that's effective and that makes me feel good and healthy.
Hmm.
But working nights and not sleeping during the nighttime hours has been so bad for my health. That's part of the reason why I'm switching to days is just for my overall health because I've got stuff going on that's not helpful with when I mess up my circadian rhythm and all of that. So just kind of reevaluating for my health needs what I even though working nights is I feel like working nights is a cheat code in my
Yeah.
opinion. because you work nights, you don't have to work during the day. So if you get off and there's something that you want to do during the day, if you're capable of staying awake, which I have many times, you can just go a 24-hour period without falling asleep, which is terrible for your body. I
Yeah,
wouldn't recommend it.
we saw,
But
what was that thing that we read the other day? You die 15 years before everyone else.
yeah, so I think that was I saw it on a Tom, was it Tom Billieu? No, it was this, what's his name, Steve? It was on a different podcast. This woman came on and she was talking about it. And yeah, you lose 15 years of your life on average. You die 15 years sooner. And then you also have, every disease, health disease, chronic disease that you can possibly think of is exacerbated by lack of sleep when you work night shift,
So
by
all you
messing up your
night
circadian rhythm.
shifters out there, just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, you do you, boo boo. I get it. Now, the shift differential is very helpful. But luckily I'm in a position where my job doesn't have shift differential, so it doesn't matter if I work nights or days, and there's a day shift opportunity, so I might as well take it.
Might
So
as well
yeah, that's
take
kind
it.
of it for me. Yeah, working on shifting up my schedule for the first time in a long time, um, focusing on my competitions and growing as a strong woman competitor, and then going back to school and getting all of that knocked out and hopefully knocking it out of the park there. And then traveling, of course, but I'm having to dial back on traveling a little bit this year, as we've
Mhm.
discussed, just because I have to focus on school and get that done so that it'll pay off in the future if I do that and
Right.
buckle down
Then you
now.
can be a travel RN and then we can go travel together.
Exactly, exactly. Make that money.
There you
So what about
go.
you? What about you? What do you have going on this year?
So this year, I am a traveling certified surgical technologist. So I'm about to go on my first contract of the year. I'm going to Tennessee, which I'm so excited.
Yes.
So my goal this year is to work on finances. I do want to look at buying the house market this year. I do want to buy a house and turn into an Airbnb. We'll see how that goes because I'm always
I
constantly
love
thinking
that.
of like, how can I make more income without me having to actually do work,
Yeah,
right?
passive. Yeah, passive
Passive
income is the
income.
way to go.
Passive income is the way to go.
Hmm.
We're turning 26 this year. Oops, starting to put
Oh,
our age out there.
oh, don't say
I
that
think I
to
almost
me.
died saying that. But we're getting to that age where you want to start thinking about, okay, um, how else can I bring in money without me having to actually do the work? And
Yeah,
being a homeowner, that's something I've been thinking about the past 2 years. And now that I'm in that position where I'm able to make that money to be able to buy a place, that's definitely within my goal this year.
right.
So finances and me too. I've been thinking about traveling and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go all these places. But however, I need to prioritize like, okay, I'm stuck in this conundrum of do I want to travel or do I want to start a life where I'm, being a homeowner? Or how do I
Hmm.
find a balance between those two? So
Right.
that's something
Yeah.
that I'm
Because you
challenging
have
myself
such
with.
an adventurous spirit too. Like
Yeah,
you are so adventurous.
yeah, and it's so hard to just be like, okay, okay, Chloe, slow down. You can't keep buying these tickets and going everywhere because those 300, 400, even $200 can go into a mortgage.
Right.
But it's just like, it's been so challenging. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, I need to dial it back because my mind is like, just book the ticket to Bali. You're only
Yeah.
20, you're only in your 20s once, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm like, okay, if I have that passive income, then maybe that money can also go towards my big trips. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. The market's
Yeah.
so bad right now, I'm not even like really looking into it, but it is
Yeah.
one of my goals this year too. At least get something started, look in the area that I want to buy in and
Hmm.
invest in it.
Right.
Whether it happens this year or next 2 years, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But at least
that's
being aware and like knowing what your
mhm,
goals are,
exactly.
it's kind of like it's activating your RAS system. So, you're more
Exactly.
aware and you're going to be, if something pops up, you're going to know about it faster, just knowing that it's in your mind. So,
Just educating yourself too.
yeah.
So shifting my mindset from my early 20s, 21, doing whatever I want, to shifting it, okay, I'm getting to my late 20s, I'm turning 30, like
Yeah.
in the next 5 years, I need a solid plan. So it's hard because now we're in the 25 to 30-year-old bracket, and
Oh.
Ooh, that hurts my soul saying that.
Yeah. I'm not like not
But
excited about getting older. It's kind of scary knowing that because I don't know about you, but like when you're 20 and like in your early 20s, it feels like life is never going to end. And
it,
now
yeah, and it feels
this
like
year,
the time is just flying. I'm like, I feel like I was just 23 and now I'm turning 26. Like where did time go? And
yeah.
it's kind of like you think about when people say, "Oh, your 20s fly." And you're like, "What? No, that's like
No.
10 years. How does
Right.
that fly?" But then now that we're actually in it, I'm like, "Oh my God.
Right? It's
I need time to
crazy.
slow down."
Yes, exactly. The faster, like the older we get, the faster time goes. And that's so cliche. I know people say that all the time, but it is so
Yeah.
true. It is
Yeah.
so true. So,
So, financial
yeah.
goals, reeling it back in. Financial goals, and also home ownership, looking into that. That's definitely a
Hmm.
big step for me. I am two more classes. I'm also in school. I'm two more classes away from applying for the IPAP program. That is something. So, for those who don't know what IPAP is, it's the Inter Service Physician Assistance Program for the
Hmm.
military, and that is something I've talked about since graduating the um, MLS school for 68 Delta. And now that I've kind of seen what physician assistants do in the OR and I'm exposed to that kind of things, it broadened my interest in it. So
Hmm.
hopefully I can apply by the end of the year. Fingers crossed.
That
All
is
goes
so
well
exciting.
for me. Eventually I do want to, settle down and not travel so much, but right now I'm enjoying the travel life.
Yeah.
I am looking at running half marathons this year. I've had like, besides us, like two other people ask me, and I'm like,
Are you thinking
oh
about
my
doing
God.
it
I am.
in April and May?
In April and May. Yes, I was asked to do a half marathon in April, and then one in Maryland, and then one in Toronto in May.
And then we're doing one in October.
And we're doing one in October. So I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, I love running. It's a good source of, getting out and
Yeah.
just decompressing. It's a great way to decompress. And
Yeah.
honestly, with
For you.
our, for me, yes, it's a great
Yeah.
way for me to decompress,
And
especially
you're a good
since.
runner too.
Did
You are.
I ever tell you the story of the first time I ran my first half marathon?
No, I
So
don't think so.
it was my junior year, and my mom signed up for the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. But she had told me, she's like, "Hey, do you want to run this for me? Because I don't think," she's like, "I don't have time to train up for it." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, me." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it."
Yeah.
I ran once, 5 miles. That's it. That's all I ran. And then the morning of the marathon, my mom even gave me like a training schedule. And I was like, okay, I'll follow it. I only ran 5 miles and that's it.
Yeah.
So the morning of the marathon, I'm dead asleep. I didn't prepare. I didn't eat a good meal before. I didn't hydrate. She comes in, she goes, "Hey, so are you still running the half marathon?" I slightly opened my eyes. I remember this. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So, sure enough, I got dressed. We took the metro into DC, and there I was, 6 a.m., running 13.1 miles, and I did it in 2 hours
I can't
without training.
stand you.
Without training.
Okay, I have a similar story, but it doesn't end as well. So I decided in 2000, when was it? That is so funny. When I what it was in 2019, I think 2018 or 2019. My friend asked if I wanted to run this half marathon with her. Either I asked her or she asked me. I don't know which. So we planned to do this half marathon 10 weeks out from the marathon. Both of us had the exact same running plan. She did it, I didn't. On the day of, I had not run at all. Like maybe a mile occasionally. And I would die on the mile. And then I show up that morning and yeah, same thing here. Didn't run, didn't eat right, I didn't drink right, nothing. I just showed up and decided to run it and fully well, I ran it, but it was in like some people were finishing their full marathon when I was finishing my half. Like, I think it was like 4 hours. I walked for a chunk of it. Also because I felt like I was going to shit myself at mile 5. So I got scared. I got
You were scared of shit
scared.
myself. So long marathons, they give like these gel packets, and I've like the runner's gel packets for
Yeah, yeah.
food, and I've never had that. Never, ever, ever. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take it. Food, whatever. I kid you not, I felt like I had to shit my pants like 6, 7 miles in. I was like, I gotta go. And
That's what
I
I'm
have to
saying.
find a porta potty. Like, this is
Yeah,
not good. So
that's what I did.
I found one and I just kept on going and I still made it under 2 hours
Wow,
somehow.
wow. That's amazing. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Ours was also in Oklahoma City, and I don't know if they do this at every half marathon because I'm pretty sure that's the only one that I've ever done. I've done it
Mhm.
twice now. And we have the what is it called? The Margarita Mile, I think is what it's called. And I think it's around mile 8, and it's an entire mile where different stations are giving out alcohol. And so you're drinking as
Oh.
you're running. And I think I got a mimosa, I got a shot. That's not the route to go. I think I
No.
thought it was going to numb the pain. All it did was distract me and make me have to pee. And then I felt funny. It was not good.
Were you
Not good.
woozy while you were running?
A little bit. Yeah, it wasn't
As
good.
well,
I
you're
hated
like,
it.
ah.
There were people because it was the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon for the bombing in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
And so every year firefighters dress up in their full garb, and I don't know what it's called, and walk the entire thing or the half. I don't know. They do a portion of it. And I remember that day, it wasn't hot, but it was hot enough where all of that on for 13.1 miles was wild. And they were walking, their entire troop was walking faster than I was running. I was running and they were walking faster
Are you sure
with
you
all of it
were
on.
running or you were
I
like
was.
speed
My
walking?
yeah, my body was doing the running
You were
motion, but I
doing
was
the
go
motions.
it was in slow motion. It
It's
was
like
so
the
bad.
tortoise and the hare. You were the tortoise.
I was
They're the
definitely
hare.
I did not win. I did not win though, unlike that story. So that was
Oh,
fun.
that's a fun story.
Yeah, yeah. So good for you for 2 hours. That's impressive.
Yeah, but I don't
So,
know if I can do that again. This is something I definitely need to train up for. And
hmm
once I do get to Tennessee, I am gonna start buckling down and get back into routine because when you're not in work and you got time to do whatever you want, you kind of get out of
yeah,
routine, out of touch with yourself. And
yeah,
I'm like, whatever.
yeah,
I'll start
yeah,
it when I start and
yeah.
see what
Once you start your
happens.
job, everything kind of, you get that
Falls into
routine down.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it.
So that's kind of my New Year's resolution. As a
Nice.
wrap up, of course, there's more, but we can always get more in touch with that later down the road.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we can go into some fun questions to kind of wrap
Yes.
up this podcast.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, here are some fun questions that I pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you passionate about?
Aw, that's a cute one.
Hmm.
What am I passionate about? I think, shoot, what am I passionate about? Oh, you know what I'm passionate about?
What?
Oh, and this is probably I'm probably most passionate about this thing. Harry Potter. Like, no joke. It's just the truth. It's who I am. It's who I am. Okay. I am passionate about Harry Potter and I am unashamed. I know people say I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm a Harry Potter fan. No, you're not. I am.
No, that's true. You are. I'm not. I say I
I am.
am, but you are. You out Harry Potter me. And I'm okay with that because you know facts and like, pieces from the book and the movie. And I'm like, sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, that happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have read the books. I'm about to finish the first one. I was listening to it tonight. So I mostly listen to them. I've read them all, like read them all, but I also listen to them, and I listen to them on repeat. So I'll finish the series and then I'll restart it immediately. Like I'll finish book 7 and I'll immediately start book 1 again, because it's just something. First of all, I don't like silence. I'm not, most of the time, I'm not in the mood for music. I just want something to fill the noise, or fill the silence, which I've heard is a trauma response, which is lovely because I don't like being alone. But the, yeah, that's a thing. I heard about it today. I don't know if it's a factual thing, so
You
don't
don't
quote me
like
on it.
being alone?
Right? That's weird, right? I like being alone. I just don't like the silence of being alone, I think.
Huh.
I like if I honestly, ideally, this is a weird random outtake, but if somebody were with me in silence, that's like heaven to me. Like if we were both, like, for example, if you and I, one, I mean, other than just hanging out, but like if you and I were sitting on the couch reading books, that's
You're
heaven.
okay with that.
Yeah, because we're just chilling, we're reading,
Because
but
you
I'm
have
not
that
alone.
presence, because you have the presence of somebody. But if you were alone, you want noise to avoid
Yeah,
the void of hearing scary stuff like a
silence and
glass
my
knocked
thoughts.
down or,
Oh,
ghosts.
or my own thoughts.
Or ghosts, or ghosts, or
Or ghosts.
spirits. That's what
Or
I'm going for, the
ghosts. Yeah.
spirits.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So Harry Potter is probably the thing that I would say I'm most passionate about. I know the books. I can quote the books like as they're playing in my car or on my phone or whatever. There'll be a part that comes up and I'll say it right along with Hagrid or or right along with Luna. So yeah, I
The
know
only
those
one
books
is
pretty
I
pretty well.
I can quote is, "You're a wizard, Harry."
From Hagrid, right? I mean,
Yeah,
surely.
exactly. No, of course. I mean, it wouldn't
Okay.
be anyone else, like
Yeah,
Slytherin.
yeah. Well, yeah, no,
Someone named
ew. But
Slytherin.
like, surely you know the one that's going off on social media right now. The whole like, um, no, Ron, no.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
talking about. You
yes.
know that
hmm
part. You know
I
that
do
part.
know that part.
Yeah,
Of course I
yeah,
know that part. I just don't know, the little bitty details like you do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would
So,
say Harry Potter is what I'm passionate about. I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or not, but
no, you
I am
shouldn't.
not.
Everyone should have some type of passion, and if that's your
Yeah,
passion and that makes you happy, then fuck everybody else. Excuse my language,
absolutely.
I'm sorry.
No, no, who cares? I think this is a cursing friendly zone.
It
So what
is
are you passionate about?
work.
No, are you serious? I can see that.
I love working. Like I don't
Hmm.
know what it is. Like I can't keep still. I love doing something that's
Hmm.
like, how do I put this? I love doing something productive and helping somebody,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like in
Yeah.
my job, we're working in the surgery where we're saving someone's life. And
Hmm.
although a lot of people shit on, surgical tags, you guys have to realize like someone has to help out with setting up the OR sterile field, like making sure everything is not contaminated. And because if it was my loved one on the table, I wouldn't want I would want to mitigate anything that could go wrong or
Yeah.
increasing infection. So I think we play a vital role when it comes to surgery. A
Yeah.
hundred
I mean,
percent.
a good surgical tech can make or break the surgery, I feel like, because even the doctor, if as a partnership, the surgical tech and the doctor, if the surgical tech doesn't know what they're doing, the doctor isn't going to be able to perform, or the surgeon isn't going to be able to perform as well as if, like, for you, for example, because you're not just like a surgical tech, you are an exceptional surgical tech. Like, you are so smart and so knowledgeable and so thorough and so like caring. Like it is a big deal. Like you are such a good surgical tech, so I feel like any surgeon who has you in the room knows that you are such an asset to their surgery and what they're going to do. And I've met surgeons before. I used to work on an ICU floor. Surgeons don't
Or
want anything messing with their flow.
yeah, and they're
So
difficult too. They can be very
yes.
difficult to work with, and some of the toughest surgeons that I've had a situation. I was just talking about this the other day where a surgeon, I had three different surgeons request me. in one
That's a
day.
big deal.
And the charge nurse was like, I don't know what to do. Like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I want to go to ortho because I love ortho, you know?
Yeah.
But they did say how there was a surgeon where I wasn't in his room, and he's like, he threw down like I think it was like hemocide or something. He's like, "Where's Chloe? Like, go get Chloe." And I had to go and release somebody. So yes, it's
Dang.
important that,
Yeah.
you know, you may not know the name. Oh, shoot. You may not know the name to every instrument, and you may not know like exactly step by step, but if you're attentive and you're proactive, that's what surgeons like, being
Hmm.
proactive. And I treat every case like that is my mom or
Hmm.
my best friend or a sister. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very meticulous with everything that's done in that surgery. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm so passionate about it, because we're saving someone, even from the littlest like toe amputation
Hmm.
or taking a gallbladder out or delivering a baby. Like,
Hmm.
everything makes a difference. And that is
Yeah.
such, I'm just so passionate about it and I love it. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm working towards something where I can expand my scope of practice.
Yeah.
So,
I absolutely love that. That's awesome. That's a great passion. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
So,
It's a little bit, more impactful than Harry Potter,
it's
you know.
okay. Everybody has their passion. And to be
Yeah.
quite honest, like, I've had passions where I loved photography at one point where I was knocking out photography like nobody's business. And
Yeah.
I was getting clients and I was getting requested and I loved it. But that to me was like work and I loved it. But then I got into surgical tech and then I got more into surgery. So everything that I do with a passion, because
I love it.
I feel like even though they say you're easily replaced, you can be easily replaced. You can replace the position, but you cannot replace a person,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Especially with one like as caring and as like with as good at work ethic as you have. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I don't know. I feel like I need a purpose, and that's how I serve my purpose is putting 110 into something that I care about or that should
Hmm.
be done. Just because it's also with military, like, yes, the military has screwed both of us over in so many ways, and I
Yeah.
have some traumatic, like, I have
Sure.
traumatic events that have happened with the military, but even with BLC, like, I put my best foot forward because
Yeah, you did.
you shouldn't just meet the standard, like you should exceed the standard.
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
People ask
I think
why. Go ahead.
I well, I think that that's something that we also relate on because it is really hard to connect with somebody who doesn't share the same values. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's one of the values that we both shared because immediately when you started, even when we were roommates, was immediately you were like, hey, can you help me study? Hey, you've already gone through this in school. Can I review this with you? And then you would stay up late and study with your class. And like there were so many different times where you showed that you were exceeding the standard and that that's what you wanted to do. And I also had that same drive. So we were able
Right.
to relate on that. And like that was one of the bigger things that I think helped us be compatible as roommates. We were both driven and we also loved having a good time and being adventurous. Although you brought that into my life more than I had that already in me. You definitely like sparked like this love of adventure for me. So,
Good.
but yeah, I think that that's a great value and I think that that's a wonderful passion. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
110% in everything you do, right?
always.
Always and forever.
Yep.
All right. So I have another fun question.
Okay.
What is your earliest memory?
I love this one. Okay. I have a couple and I don't know which one came first. They might have been on the same day. I don't remember. And it's very simple. It's very simple. So I have two kind of. And then they all start to flood in. I believe though, and I don't know if this is late. My earliest memories are from about the time of 5 years old and up. So I remember one of them is I was laying in bed and it was like I was living in Texas at the time at Fort Hood because my dad's military. I was sleeping in bed. Me and my brother shared a room, and I think I had like a full-sized bed, which is like for me, I grew up where in a twin-sized bed in most of my life, but I remember it was a full-sized bed, so it was a large bed for me, and I had these beautiful, colorful flower covers. And I was so cozy in bed, and the window was open, and my dad was mowing. And that's like, I think one of my very first memories is just smelling grass, living in Texas. It
Oh,
was the perfect day. I was waking up. My brother was across the room. And I think that's like one of my very earliest memories. It was like the perfect day. Like the sun was perfect and mild. In Texas, that never happens. It's always crazy
yeah.
hot.
It's so
Yeah. And
hot
then
or it's cold,
yeah,
surprisingly.
exactly. Yeah, it's like miserable no matter what time like no matter what. So, but it was like the perfect day, and you had that smell of grass, and that's what I woke up to. So that's one of them. And then the other one is actually my fifth birthday. And I remember we were doing like I think it was like a dual birthday with the person across the street. It was a friend of ours, and him and I got along really well. So we were kind of like doing a dual pool birthday party thing.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I remember I was wearing a pink shirt and a purple tutu. And the part that I remember is my aunt calling me. And my aunt, like growing up and still to this day, is like one of my favorite people in the world. Like I don't know how to describe. I guess if we're going back to the Harry Potter thing, the way Harry feels about Hagrid, like that friendship, like family bond that they have that's so precious. My aunt is my Hagrid. Like
Aw.
she is my I just love her to death. So and I can't talk about it too long. I'll start crying. But she is my I love her. So I remember she called me on my fifth birthday, and it was the sweetest thing, and that's one of my first memories.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so much
Yeah.
better than mine.
No, what's yours?
You're gonna laugh. I can't
That's
believe I'm putting
okay.
this out here because
Oh, let's hear it.
this is literally my very first memory that comes up, and I don't know what it is, but even with my mom and my brother, like our earliest memory is when we were 3. Yeah,
Okay.
right, surprising enough.
That's
So,
early.
yeah, it is, which is crazy. I'm like, how do I remember this? But it's like a core memory that's locked in, and I'm like, oh my God, why do I remember this? So it was back in Guam. My mom was a college student. You know, my mom had us very young, and she was actually, I think she was in Fort Knox because she did ROTC in college. So
Yeah.
my grandparents, my grandma and grandpa, they actually ended up adopting me and my brother, me and my older brother.
Oh.
And I remember we were in the bathtub in Guam in her house, right? And in Guam, like they don't have any hot water, so we were showering in like cold water or whatever. And yeah, it sucks.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awful.
Well, now they do have hot water, so don't let
Okay.
that change your perception of visiting Guam
Okay.
with me. You're
I
definitely
gotcha.
coming.
Okay. All right.
So
Good.
we were in the bathtub, and next thing we hear is the ice cream truck come out, right? And
Yeah.
I'm still in. My brother's out. He's changed, whatever. Ice cream truck, we hear it. I get out and I run out of my grandma's house, butt ass naked, to get ice cream
What ice cream
from
did you get, Chloe?
I got chocolate ice cream. Okay? Chocolate ice cream
It wasn't
from
even like the SpongeBob cup.
no.
Oh,
No. It was just a normal chocolate sandwich ice cream, like the ice cream sandwiches.
I love it.
And I got the ice cream and I got it for free.
Because you were naked?
Because I was naked.
They probably were like, get this interaction over with so
Yeah,
quickly.
whatever.
Was it
Um,
the best ice cream ever?
You know what? I think my 3-year-old self would agree that was the best ice cream I've
Yeah.
ever had. But I
Yeah.
also think that was probably the first time I've sold my body for something.
The first time?
I'm just kidding. The
Girl.
only time. I think you would consider it that, right?
I mean, either yeah, it might be
Yeah,
considered
right?
that.
Right?
Yikes.
So
Yikes.
yeah, I got my first thing of ice cream, and that was my very first memory.
That's funny. I mean, you were 3. That's kind of funny. That's
I
cute.
didn't know any better. I just wanted ice cream from the ice cream truck. If my brother got
Yeah.
ice cream, why couldn't I?
Heck yeah.
It's not
Heck
my
yeah. I mean,
fault
he
my
could.
grandma could have washed me faster.
Your brother probably could have brought you ice cream.
But at 3 years old, what do I?
Yeah. Yeah. You're thinking, let me get to that truck.
Exactly. And my brother was 6. Like, we're only 3 years apart. So you think a
Yeah.
6-year-old's gonna bring back ice cream for a sister he didn't even want in
Yeah.
the first place?
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Y'all are close
Yes.
now, though, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are,
Okay.
thankfully.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
No, that's fair. That's fair.
okay.
That's funny. I love that.
You're gonna love this one.
Okay.
What kind of elderly person do you hope to be?
Oh, batshit crazy, girl. Batshit crazy. I I want okay, there's like 2 types. Either one, I don't really want to live to be that old. So like hopefully nobody will have to deal with me. And when I say batshit crazy, I don't mean like mentally. Well, no, I'm probably going to be all kinds of effed up to be honest. But yeah, I want to be a whole handful, but in like a funny way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I want to be like an old lady that calls you screaming on the phone,
Oh God.
like yeah, like screaming on the phone, but in like a funny way, not in like an annoying way,
Mm-hmm.
and then just talking about old times. And then I'm not cutting my hair, like whole hair theory thing. I have decided this has been a thing for me for a long time. I want to have long, beautiful white hair. White hair is
As you
a thing in
should.
my family. Yeah, like my grandma has the most beautiful white hair in the world. So I'm just gonna do that, but longer. I'm gonna wear all kinds of cute clothes, you know. I'm still gonna be putting on my makeup and reading my
You're
Harry
gonna be
Potter.
rocking it. You're gonna be
Yeah.
rocking it.
Yep, Harry Potter's gonna be playing 24/7 in my little home. So, yeah.
That's
That shit
fun.
crazy. Yeah, what about you? What kind of old woman are you gonna be?
So I don't know if you've seen the grandma on TikTok who's like, "Oh, to my ex," you know what I mean?
Oh, I
She's
know. Does that she always wears funny
hilarious.
earrings?
Wears funny earrings, and she does not give a shit. Like,
Yes.
she is
Yes.
just blunt and open. She cracks dark jokes all the time. Talks about like her exes in the grave and all that. That's the kind of
Yep.
grandma I want to be.
I can see it. I can
I
see
want to
it.
be like that.
Honestly.
Like, I've spent my
I can
whole
see
life
it.
being so nice and just like kind. I just
You
want to
are.
grow into somebody who's like, fuck you, fuck them. Like, you know what
Villain
I mean?
era.
Villain
Yeah.
era in my 80s.
In your 80s. You're putting it off.
I'm putting it off for now because I feel too bad right now to be in my villain era.
I love that. I love it. That's awesome. That's a good one.
Yep.
I
I
can see
aspire to
it.
be just like her.
I say I can see it. I can see that as your goal. I can't imagine you being mean.
Me either.
Yeah. Can't imagine it. So
I think I can see it.
maybe, but
Maybe,
you know
maybe.
yourself, like like that. You know what kind of dark side you got. Like I've never seen your dark side.
Yeah,
I
you've
think you've
never seen
probably
it.
seen mine.
I've seen your dark side, but you haven't seen my dark side. My dark side,
Yeah.
I'm a bitch. And I know it. Like, even
I
even
would say I've seen it like for a split second, maybe kind of when we were in Scotland, but it wasn't you really being a bitch. You were just drunk. So I didn't
no.
really hold it against you.
Okay, yeah, to be honest, I'm usually a bitch when I'm drunk. That's when like
Okay.
all my thoughts I shove down and I'm like, okay, let my nice and kindness take over.
Yeah.
But when I'm drunk, it's just like it just comes out and I'm just like
So these are the things you
Medusa.
were
Medusa's
thinking?
out. Medusa's out. No, it's not.
Damn.
It's not stuff that I'm thinking. It's just okay. In your situation, no, I wasn't really thinking.
No, for sure in my situation, that's what you were really thinking. For sure. Girl, we already know that's what you're really thinking. I can see it in your eyes,
No,
but
because
that's a different story.
sober me would never tell you that.
Yeah, no, no, no. I've got hair in my face. Yeah, no, no, no. I
Drunk
get that.
me, on the other hand,
She straight up told me that.
she's
Yep.
that's another story for another time.
That's
But
another story.
oops.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. How do you do you have a certain type of alcohol that makes you like mad or happy or like spicy? Like, do you have different types of alcohol?
Spicy.
Yes, yes. Don't you drink an
Okay.
like
Like
wine when you're
spicy, like schmexy, like
yes, yes, like
okay. First of
it's going
all
down.
alcohol kind of makes me like that, to be honest. Second of all, I mean, we're just being real here. I don't have an alcohol that makes me mad or angry that I know of.
Hmm.
Um, so a couple that'll sneak up on me though. Rum sneaks up on me, although I love it.
Did you try that
Vodka.
rum?
No, and I meant to try it. I thought about trying it tonight, but I'd already poured the vodka, and I was like, I really shouldn't do more
Mm.
than just some vodka and some
No, you
Curly.
could if you drink it straight, it's so good.
Okay, maybe next time, next
Next
podcast, I'll
Thursday?
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to try it. But rum will sneak up on me, and then vodka does nothing for me. Like nothing. It'll make me
Really?
a little tipsy in the moment,
Hmm.
but it doesn't affect me at all. So
Yes.
tequila makes me feel some kind of way. I don't know how to describe it. Tequila will get me drunk real quick. Really,
Really?
really quick. Yeah. And then it'll keep me up all night. Um, and then so maybe that one is my spicy one because it will keep me up all night. And then champagne gives me the worst headache and knocks me out.
I can see that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we did mimosas one time at that NOLA restaurant
Cafe.
in San Antonio. We got like the whole bottle. I was so exhausted. I think we went and got our nails done afterwards. I was falling asleep in the
Oh
and
yeah, you
at the nail salon, and then I took a nap when we got back.
yeah, you did. You passed out. I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
honestly, to be honest, I think we both passed out. I think we both got back and was just like,
You know what? I think, oh, that's a funny story too. We'll have to talk about that some other time because that was that was the first day I realized you were my friend, which was so far into our friendship at that point. But that was the first day that I realized that you were a friend that was going to be around in my life forever.
wait, why?
Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get into that. So that day we went and we went to the NOLA Cafe. We went and got our nails done, and then afterwards, like, 'cause again, I'm an introvert, so like usually I do my people thing, and then I'm by myself because I have like I get anxious. And that day, oh, and I think we went shopping that day. No, maybe that was a different day. Anyway, you came to my barracks room because I had my own barracks room. We both did as prior service. I had my own barracks room, and you came into my barracks room, and then you just hung out at the chair. We just sat on the chair and we talked about, I think we talked about Bumble because you were trying to find friends in the area, like the friends Bumble, not like the
Yeah.
relationship Bumble, but like you were on Bumble Friends and you were trying to get to know people. And then I was just sitting there scrolling Instagram or something, talking to my dad. And I remember you were there for a couple of hours just hanging out and we were just chilling. And I remember when you left, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, she came in and she just hung out for a couple of hours. I was like, we didn't even really talk much. She was just there. And he was like, Amber, why are you complaining about that? It sounds like she's your friend. And I was like, oh, is that what that is? That's friendship? You just like to be around somebody just so that you can hang out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that was one of our
Oh yeah.
champagne days. That was one of our champagne days. Yeah.
That was. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was
So
at Babes. Oh my gosh, that was far into our friendship.
yeah, we were at
That was
Bancy for a
like
while.
August time
I
frame.
I know because I thought the way that the whole our friendship was gonna go was we were roommates. We hung out for a while we were there. And then once you left, we were done. Not because I felt like that's what I wanted within our
Hmm.
friendship, but because one, I grew up growing up as a military brat. I had no consistent friends. Like we were
Yeah.
friends for the time that we were in that place,
And
and then
then
you
you
move
move
on and you
on.
make new friends. Yeah,
Yep.
I think you and maybe my sister-in-law are the only friends that I've ever had that have stuck with me no matter where I'm at. So that
Disclaimer,
is,
guys, we went on a trip to London like 2 months ago. I'm still
yeah,
her friend.
we're still friends.
We're still
Yeah,
friends.
we're still friends. Yeah, exactly. That's a big deal though. As
Yeah,
a
it is.
military brat, like that's a big deal. So, yeah, that was the first time that I realized that we were friends and like that there was a good chance we were going to stay friends. So, even after not talking for a long time because there
Yeah,
was
we
probably a
went
year and
almost a year without talking, and then we're like,
yeah.
"Oh, hey, how's it
Yeah, yeah, like
going?"
we kept up like bare minimum, not because I don't think we wanted to hang out or talk or anything. I think life was just like that at the time. Like we just did not talk at all. And then we connected and it was like nothing ever happened.
Exactly. And it was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, what's going
Yeah,
on?"
exactly.
And then,
Yeah.
guys, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see Morgan Wallen. You want to come?" She's like, "Sure." And next
Yeah,
thing you know, there we are. 8 months later, we went to London to see Morgan Wallen. But that's another story.
we sure did. Best concert of my life, though.
Oh, that was
Of
amazing.
my life. That was
Amazing.
so much fun.
It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And you saw Morgan Wallen beforehand too.
Yeah, that was my second
Yeah.
time. I saw him twice in 1 year.
So
Yep.
lucky.
No regrets. So,
Okay,
but what about
we
you?
starting with the dark liquor. I don't
Okay.
really go for dark liquor. I'm more of like a tequila girl. But
Yeah.
with dark liquor, it makes me like just calm, and
Mm.
I don't know, it just like makes me calm and just in tune and makes me just want to like it's almost like a high, you know?
I like
It's
that. So
almost like
should
a
we have
high.
so next Thursday, should we do like a bourbon coffee,
Oh, that would
like
be fun.
book
Yeah.
conversation? I have
I've
two
never
things
had
of
that.
bourbon here.
I've never tried
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we should try that.
I'll look up recipes and send them to you. Okay, but anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
send it.
so bourbon gives you a high
So
or
bourbon makes me
dark.
dark dark liquor makes me like, okay, like this is good. Like I'm
Yeah.
vibing. Um, Tequila, on the other hand, makes me wild. Like I can go. I used to take tequila shots like water. I'm like, oh, shoot him back, shoot him back, shoot him back. They're good. I love tequila shots. Like I had
We
what?
we have to go to Caesars when you're here. We have to.
Yes, 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 we do.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, so I would drink tequila like it's nobody's business. I actually had a margarita yesterday and we were out and I was like, I can't even taste the liquor. Like this tastes like water. And Cullen took a sip and he was like, no, there's
It
definitely liquor in
burns.
there. It burns.
Well,
And I'm like,
Cullen,
but I'm like, I didn't even taste it. I don't taste it. Did I feel it? Hell yeah, I did. But I couldn't taste
that's
it
the
because
best kind.
I can drink tequila like nobody's business. I'll shoot him back. No problem.
Oh my
Don
gosh.
Julio. Love Don Julio.
I love it.
Vodka, on the other hand, makes me sick. It makes me woozy. I'm like, I can't handle my vodka. Yeah.
Oh,
Vodka
damn.
just makes me woozy. It makes me like, where you're like constantly spinning or in like
Yeah.
that ride where you're spinning around. That's how vodka
Yes.
makes me feel.
Weird.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. And last but not
All right.
least, you found this out. Anything bubbly makes me so mad. I will start an argument like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Does that
I
include beer? Like, because I feel like you had a lot of beer that night
I had
too.
a lot of beer and my anger just came out.
Yeah. Was it just beer that you had? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, all I had was beer
Yeah.
and it just came out, which is weird because
Yeah.
I've had beer before, but not that much, not to that extent, because I'm not necessarily like a huge beer girl. I
You were
love
so drunk that night.
I was so drunk. I didn't even know what was going on. I was
Yeah,
like,
you didn't.
"Oh my God."
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun night. That was honestly though, that was a fun night. I do remember running to the bathroom. running to the bathroom to get away from you at one point. Do you remember that?
Running
You were
away from me?
FaceTiming. Yeah, you were FaceTiming somebody, trying to get me to talk to them. And you don't remember this? So that you brought up this person on FaceTime and you were trying to get me to have a conversation with this person on FaceTime. I don't know this person and I was not interested. And you were chasing me in the bar all the way to the bathroom. And I ran into the bathroom and locked the door.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was so much
I
fun
was
though. And
so
then
drunk.
that was the night that we got back and we did like we have some pictures, some really funny pictures of us that night. We were both really drunk. But
Oh my
yeah,
God, what a fun night. I mean,
that
what
was a
other
fun
way to
night.
spend our last night in Scotland? Going
Oh yeah.
pub, pub crawling when we only made
Two
it to
pubs.
two.
I think three total because we ate dinner at one pub and I
That's
had a
true.
couple of beers, so I was already
That's
kind
true.
of a little tipsy for that. And then we went to the one. I think we had one at
Yeah,
the last drop.
the last
Yeah,
drop. And then I
and
don't
then
know
we went
how
and
many
hung
we
out.
had.
Yeah, I don't
I
know either, but
imagine.
a bunch. I probably had 4 or 5 just at the last bar
I don't
alone. I
remember.
loved it there though.
It was so fun. And we were like basically the only ones, and we were able to hear
Yeah,
each other. And the owner was so cool. She had her dog. I remember that.
yeah,
Everything else, no memory.
yeah, yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was
I
a
wish I
great
could go
time.
back and relive it. It was a good one.
Me
Yeah.
too. We have to relive that somewhere here.
Yeah, honestly. There's some places if you come visit here or in Tennessee, Tennessee would be a good place to do that.
Oh
Although
yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like places in Tennessee, especially like Nashville area, are not going to be that chill. But
Asheville. I feel like
okay.
Asheville would be pretty chill
Okay.
that we
Yeah,
should go and
we got to
do.
do that again. We
You
definitely got
guys
to
are
do
gonna
that.
be taking along our drunken adventures.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I love
Okay.
it. So, did you finish your drink, Chloe?
I've been done. I think for the next
Oh, dang.
podcast, I'm gonna have to have like two or three for
That's what I'm
backup.
saying. I
Yeah.
told you we should have done shots before.
So,
I
you guys let us
told
know.
you.
Should we do shots before these podcasts?
I feel like we should do a shot and then do our drink. I feel like that's a thing. Because
That's a
I
good
barely am
idea.
feeling this. I feel like this may be pretty chatty, but I'm
Uh,
barely tipsy.
Okay, we gotta get more tipsy.
So
Did you
we
finish your
gotta,
drink?
hold on. It's like watered down truly. So done now. But if we didn't finish it, you gotta chug, chug. So we're done. That's a wrap, I think, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks
To do
with
our
our
book
book review.
talk.
Yes, our book talk, our tipsy book review.
Yes. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of, knowledgeable because we're gonna be tipsy, but it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna
If
be
we do it
interesting.
shot before, it'll be tipsy. But I'm so excited. The books that we have planned for these reviews are going to be a good one. I have loved them so far. So
Me too. They've
yeah,
been phenomenal, and
yeah.
I'm excited for February because I picked a very steamy book that I think you're gonna like.
Yes, I'm excited for
So
February too because I don't know how steamy it is, but it's a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I'm pretty excited about it.
I can't wait to see. Ooh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll send it out. We'll send those out soon, and we'll kind of do a reveal pretty soon. So, but
Yes.
yeah, all right. Well, we'll chat here in a couple of weeks.
Okay. And that wraps up this episode. Cheers, babes.
Until next time.